I'm happy to be back home. More than 1 year now, and I've worked. Actually, I first started a food delivery business. I think, when I first started, I went to Brofala and it was like, I wanted to start a food delivery business. Then it was picking up. I was picking food from August, from Alice, from Brent. Then I started talking to a business owner in Bumashaw. Worked with him for a year. Now I'm starting my company again with my best friend. So it's been a roller coaster in the past 1 year. But one thing that stands out for me is that Nigerians are starting to create more. So I'm excited about that. As bad as it is that people make it seem, if you really sit down to look, you will see that Nigerians are creating more. I've enjoyed my time home, but the work culture in Nigeria is a bit different. I mean, it depends on where you are, where you work. But in my own experience in the past 1 year, I've worked with amazing people, but at the same time, I've seen Nigerians start to make big deal out of nothing. Just work and produce results, nothing more. And at the same time, one thing that I saw when I was in Cairo that I didn't see is in the story of one of my friends there. So actually what happened was it was in UNN, and because of his poor performance, he was sent away from school, so rusticated basically. But when he got to Cairo, it was by the time he graduated from my faculty, he graduated as the best student in history of our faculty. For someone who was rusticated. And what that tells me is that when Nigerians are outside, they bring out their best. Maybe because we are trying to prove ourselves or something, but somehow Nigerians outside and Nigerians in Nigeria, apart from maybe in Lagos, but Nigerians are just there at home, just not creating much, not going out there enough. But when Nigerians go abroad, I met a lot of Nigerians in Cairo. All of them are hustling hard. But in my past 1 year working with Nigerians, I've met hardworking people, smart people, and at the same time I've met the other end of the spectrum. One thing Nigerian university graduates need to realize more, now more than ever, is that nobody really cares about a certificate. I have a lot of friends that have worked in big places. Like one of my seniors from school, for example, has worked in Wema Bank, in Microsoft, and he has his own business now. And he doesn't even know what he graduated with in school. The point I'm making there is, in the last 1 year, I've seen Nigerians that work extremely hard and are excellent in their work. And at the same time, I've seen people that are just there. They have nothing to offer. You can see the potential inside of them, but because they are not really putting in the work, they just hoping for God to do a miracle for them. So that's my experience in the last 1 year, and I believe Nigeria has a lot of potential, but if we continue with this epidemic of Yahoo as the experience of the young people. I came back and I saw some of the young boys that were in my street. They were already doing Yahoo, and it was sad. It was sad, very sad. And at the same time, like I said, Nigerians are hustling harder than ever. At the same time, I've seen people that inspired me who have done amazingly well. So it's a balance of both, but I just hope we can do more of the good stuff. So currently, I am partnering with my friend from high school, and we're starting a media production company. And at the core of what we want to do is to tell stories of Nigerians that are doing amazing stuff. You see, what happened was, while I was still working on my consulting business then, as I was studying, I just saw that, Ogbomoso, basically, businesses didn't have any platform to promote their businesses in Ogbomoso other than the radio. So I was thinking of creating a media company, but I didn't just want to create an advertising platform or advertisement platform. So I was thinking of something that would do more, and I wrote some things down. Now, the strange thing was, at the same time, my friend was at an employment in Lagos, and he wanted to leave and start a media company of his own. So he called me, because what we do is, you want to make a decision. So when you share it, that okay, I want to do this. So to make sure that it's not emotion that's driving you, we always do that check for one another, for each other. He was explaining to me the logic, because before I quit my job as well, he did the same for me. So I was like, okay, what are you trying to do? Now the strange thing was, as he was telling me why he wanted to start a media company, the things he wanted to achieve with the company, they were the same exact things I wrote in my own note. That okay, this is what I want to achieve with this media company. And since it aligned, I believe so much in partnership. Because of my first working experience with Omar, he did a lot of, he worked hard, but I believe because he had a partner like me, and he had another partner who made we all made the journey easier for him. So from then, I believe so much in partnership that, I really don't think anyone should do anything alone since that time. So even with my consulting business, I was already trying to look for who could I partner with so that we can build this stuff together. And as he was saying that, added with the fact that I was already coming to the realization that entering, trying to pitch businesses as a consulting company was not really going to cut it. So as he pitched that to me, I'm like, man, why don't you just partner? And we have tried to start businesses together on 3 different occasions before that. For some reason or the other, we had done some project. We used to blog together. We called it Influence Incorporated when we were in secondary school. So we stopped because we felt like we were talking and weren't doing anything, we weren't there yet. So we're just motivational speakers, not without any experience. So we shut down the blog. And even after that, we wanted to start another media company. When I first came back, I started working, he started working. So now we wanted to do it again. And this time, one of the things we saw is, if you search, just go on Google, search Nigeria, the news you will see are bad news, are sad news, and amazing stuff that happen in Nigeria. Nigeria is not that bad. With even all the Boko Haram, everything, it's just in a few cities. I know it's bad, there is insecurity, but we make this bad news loud so much that there is really, when you're looking from afar, it looks as if we're just a failed state. This year they released the terrorism index, and Nigeria is put as a more terrorized country than Syria. It doesn't make any sense. How will those kind of things are things that we need to control the narrative. But it's easy to believe something like that Nigeria is more terrorized than Syria, because that's already what everybody is talking about. A lot of good things are happening. We didn't even hype the sale of Paystack as much. It was just a few days and then it just went down. A lot of amazing stuff are happening in our country and nobody's telling the stories. We are being ripped off because we are not telling our stories right. And everything is storytelling, when you tell story well, that you look at all these foreign brands, they tell the story so well that they can charge premium for it, and we are failing at that in Nigeria. So that's one thing we really wanted to do. We would do marketing for companies, and we will really help them to tell their stories in a way that bring out emotions in their customers, in their target customers. But more than that is we wanted to launch a channel that we're going to call Influence. And in that channel, through that channel, we're going to document, stories of Africans, not just Nigerians now, that are doing amazing work. Because in my time abroad, all my friends that went abroad, they led, they were top of their class. So for me, I'm very confident that if you pick the smartest people in the world, if you count 1 to 5, Nigerians will be among them. So we are very smart people. We lead wherever we go. Nigerians are leading in the US, all around the world. But that story is now the like major narrative. When you think about Africa, when you think about Nigeria, it's like you need to prove yourself out there to people before people can even believe in you. Meanwhile, an American comes and nobody is doubting him. It's already like we believe he's going to do well, and he only needs to mess up before you realize that this guy is not good. But when it comes to an African, when it comes to a Nigerian, it's the other way around. Sorry, it's the other way around. You have to, even though you are good, you are the best, you have to prove yourself. There is this narrative this control narrative that has already pitched everything against you. I mean, other than that you're a black person, you're a Nigerian, so you have to now prove yourself for what? I mean, you are smart, you're hardworking, so why do you need to prove yourself? Like, why do you need to prove yourself more than an American? So it doesn't make any sense. And if you look at that, it's not even the white people's fault. It's our own fault. We don't tell our stories right. Look at Punch. Look at the stories they're telling. It's crazy. So those are some of the things that we really want to do. That's why we wanted to do this. So we want to tell our own story. We want to control it. And some of the challenges we've had in trying to, early days and stuff is finance. So we needed to get a space, but when you really want to do something, there is this thing that we came across, so we're thinking, man, should we bootstrap? I mean, we are bootstrapping still, but we wanted to like really bootstrap, and we had this tiny space that productivity was low, and we needed to raise money to get a better space to do it. And we just came across this stuff from, I actually came across it on Instagram, and this CEO of Landway posted it, I guess. So he said that when you want to do something, you have to really just throw everything in. The worst that can happen is we fail. But if you are doing it like so I mean it's going to take. You can decide to take 1 year. I mean, this is Elon Musk that I had this from. You determine how long it's going to take to do something. So initially we were planning like, okay, we work, make some money, then next year we'll try and get a better space. But the reality is we would actually lose a lot of productive hours. To put it in perspective, my space here in Ogbomoso where I live is very comfortable, so I can work for sometimes 16 hours, 20 hours in a day. I mean, of course not 20 hours, maybe once in a while, but not every day. But like averagely I put 10 hours of work every day. But when I moved to Lagos, in our little space, you can hardly get 5 hours of work out. That's a lot of losses. I mean, when you think about it in terms of money, energy. So we're like, let's try and raise money. And we did raise money that we needed. We raised money we needed. So we solved that. We took loans from our friends and families. And then some of the money we were expecting personally as well. We were aggressive about it, and those people came through to give us our money earlier than we should have gotten it. So we solved that. And I mean, if there's anything we would like from the society at large to help us with, is to just do good work, man. Like, just go out there, put in your best, do all the best you can do, and tell that story. Because what happens is, you see, even Nigerians who do good work, they don't know how to tell their stories. They just do that good work and it's just dying in silence. If you go to Jos, You go to all these tea plantations, you see like with all the chaos that the purported chaos that is in Jos. I'm not saying it's not reality, it's reality, but there's a lot of beautiful things going on in Jos in the north. If you go to Maiduguri, even Borno State, if you go to Maiduguri, it's relatively safe, but nobody's telling that story. So, like, the only thing we would want from Nigerians is if you're doing something great, if you're doing good work, please tell that story, share it, loud it on the rooftop, so that when non-Nigerians, non-Africans, when they want to learn about our country, they see more of the good stuff than, bomb blast there, two killed there. So yeah. So when I think about August, and especially with the rebranding to August Brothers, personally, for me, when I see it, I think they wanted to show more that, this is a partnership. I believe so much in partnership. So when I think about August Brothers, I think of young Nigerians coming together, which is, something that we want to show forth more. That don't try and go this journey. Find, people that think the same way, like-minded people, and build something together. And every time I walk into the restaurant, I see, excellent management, something that I like. I see orderliness, and some level of consistency in the food. Every time I eat, I see the same thing. So yeah, I like August Brothers. And if you go to August, eat chicken and fries, and you can thank me later.